Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. So, on the last Let's Play, we were in the mines mining because we're miners, and basically, the guy that's, what is his name? The golden retriever guy went to borrow some of the dynamite, but then was like, actually, we don't need the dynamite. And we're all a bit sus of him, but then we're like, okay, we'll continue working. And we lit that one piece of dynamite, and immediately went, whoosh, whoosh, and the big bear guy got his leg crushed. Not like completely crushed, he was able to, hobble off with the help of other people, but still it's like, that guy's kind of sus. But who knows? So, yeah, we're coming up to James to seduce him so that we can keep together. Hyena. So, let's set our face. And continue. Come in, my boy. Oh, we will. Ooh. When I get inside, he closes the door. Hello, Mr. Hendricks. My, you're filthy. He takes his own handkerchief out of his pocket and starts wiping my hands and face down. I can see the dirt coming off my fur stick to the salmon-colored fabric. Solomon-colored. But what a joy it is to see you after that drudgery. He rolls his eyes and looks at the door. A hard day, sir? Oh, you don't know the half of it. Yeah, he was in a fight with, like a yelling argument with the co-owner, because I think the co-owner's like, yeah, you gotta starve the miners. I mean, like they're dogs or something like that. Racist. He's also a dog. I bet none of your days are hard. Not really. But I hear you're taking all your tasks with a nod and a know-how. That exemplarize true grit. A nod and know-how. Okay. I just want to thank you for the new tools. I put on my best smile, the kind of smile that makes a client think I've had just the right amount of alcohol to feel star-crossed. Oh, poppycock with your thanks. It was the very least I could do. Not wrong. You could probably do it for all the workers if you wanted to. You love it down there in the dirt and the dust, don't you? Well, I think that's great. I just think that's great. This great nation is nothing without great men who give it their all and aren't afraid to get a little dirty. I don't think how what I'm about to try is a little bit dirty. Again, it's one of those things where you read the first 3 words and it's like, how does that make sense? And then you're right, sir. Is there anything more I could do to show you my appreciation? Wink. There is always a lot more that you can do, Samuel. Wait, is he making the first move before I can? How about we end this pointless dance and have you get on your knees? What's with the tense music? We have him where we want him, right? I'm suddenly a little dizzy. I know what he said, but I just didn't expect it so soon, or like this. Come again, sir? He unhooks his belt and unzips his pants. You don't need to play coy. We both know what you are and where you come from. I'm not sure how to respond to that, but I also don't want to make him angry. Or worse, suspicious. Cheer up, Samuel. He walks behind me and locks the door, then turns around. I want to make this fun. He frowns. Wait. What? Do you not wish to do this? I did at first, but now something feels off. I knew that he wanted to sleep with me, but I never communicated that I wanted to have him as my client. It's almost like he doesn't know either. I do. I slide down to my knees, like he asked. Good, good. He fishes himself out and presents it to me. Ah, here's the present. I trust you know what to do with this. Of course I do. The first thing I notice is that he's a very clean man. I've smelled expensive perfume on him before, but today he smells like nothing. He's almost the scent of a blank paper. But I know how to use my mouth, even with the lack of inspiration. It's apparently good enough for him. A few slow, long licks up this side of the shaft makes a soft shaft go stiff. And the sight of him going ramrod straight is enough to ignite my spark of interest. I hold myself down, letting myself stroke. Or choke? Well, he might have a stroke if he chokes. Haha, got him. And that's when I start to smell desire on his bowels. This flash of instinct motivates me. I let the thick strand of drool connecting my mouth to his cock hang in the air before it breaks under its own weight and splatters to the floor. All I have to do is piss on and off him at this point. A sweet and simple suck. And it pays off too, because he gets very close very fast. I can feel him throb now, and he grabs my head. You know, there's a lot of ways to know if someone's loyal. He pumps into my mouth, hard. It's a little hard to breathe through it, and I sputter. But my favorite way to know? He grunts between each thrust. Is when you never feel teeth. He pets my head as he continues to come. I just smile and swallow. Like I'm not being utterly fake. He looks down at me, smiling. This man might be a bit delusional. You know, I had to keep you in here all day. I chuckle at that. It's not a happy one. Would you like to be? Oh, he isn't kidding. I put on the most serious voice I know. Well, sir, I already have an important job to do. Oh, I know. It almost sounds like he's pouting. And then he lowers his voice. But between you and me, I'm on the hunt for a new secretary. I frown. Why's that? She's just a bit too dour, and makes coming in the morning ever so dreary. Like, that hurts my head, but I guess it's not wrong. Though, does Samuel know how to type? This place could use individuals with a mite more optimism. Suddenly, I feel very bad for the polecat outside. I think I'm meant to be where I am. He sighs. And I understand. You really, really don't. But that's the goal. But there's a favor I need to ask you. Anything. There's a particular group of men that I work well with together, but sometimes we get split apart. Could you make it so that the foreman has to put us together every time? Oh, He's frowning. Briggs can be a bit of a cock when I intervene with the management of the foreman. Not to say that the ins and outs of the grunt work is my forte to begin with. He hems. But Beckett's flexible. He has never undermined my authority before. Very well, let's make it so. I smile again and prepare my list, using James' own supplies. When I hand it over to him, he squints one eye and scans with his other through his monocle. His gaze stops and lingers on some of the names for a second, but then it moves on down to another, and then he nods, good-naturedly. That's an interesting mix, but you haven't disappointed me yet. We'll have this phone down immediately. Maybe not immediately, sir. Beckett might be eating. This is our lunch break. Hush now. If that's curmudgeon has to talk to somebody during lunch for once, it might as well be me. Both of us flinch as we hear the high noon gunshot. Why would you flinch? You'd think you'd hear it all the time. Off you go then. We'll be in touch soon enough. He pats my cheek and returns to his desk, then picks up his phone. I don't want to feel guilty hearing Beckett's reaction at the end of that phone call, but I have to look out for myself. Thankfully, I'm not too late to find Nick and Yao by the time I get back to the mess hall. When I see Nick, he looks at me extremely relieved. He moves in like he's about to give me a big hug, but then stops himself, as if he's reminded of where he is. We heard that somebody got hurt near you. When we did not see you here, we thought perhaps... He exhales. Well, you're here now. It was Dmitri. The both of them look shaken. That is one of the worst possible things that could have happened. In that case, this might make my decision to leave the area easier. Yao looks like he's thinking again. This may change some of my circumstances as well. We should act quickly then. We could rejoin in the showers after the last whistle blows. Actually, what, Sam? I have good news on that front. We won't get split up anymore. Yao perks up a little. Nick looks a little worse. So, you went through with it then? Yeah. His fist balls up on the handle of his lunch pail. Then it is done? I think so. James said he'd be in touch, actually, but I don't think I need to worry about that right now. If we can be faster than just a week, it should be even better. Can it be done, Yao? He sounds like he's phrasing that more like a command than a question. But Yao shrugs. It depends on how much is truly there, how much we need, and how fast we can take it. Our hushed conversation comes to an end when we hear the clang of Moore's triangle. All right, men. He sounds even more surly than usual. We had a couple of unusual things happen in the last few hours that's thrown a wrench to things, so we're gonna have to move a few folks around again. He lists the names for the red team. Then I'm relieved to hear Nick, Yao, and my names in the yellow team. Paul and Felipe are in there too, but so are Nate and Ben. Nate's the blue jay? Or the bluebird, some blue. Mordecai? The workloads we're given for the rest of the day isn't too extraordinary. It's mostly picking through soft materials and hauling away excess dirt or rock. Beckett forbids any detonations done by anybody but himself. When the three of us are by ourselves, Yao takes the opportunity to speak again. When the shift is over, we can sign out, and we can wash. He took out his map. I checked again to see if anybody was near us, but I didn't see anybody. But instead of return to our bunks, we can disappear into the vertical passage. He doesn't have to say the passage where I killed Jack for me to know where he means. Is it possible that we could use another route to enter? Maybe the exit? I think we should use that one as little as possible. That is our quickest way out when we have what we're looking for. We do not want to risk the discovery. The path we take will be past 3, left, past 2, left, right, past 1, right, left, left, right, straight. So, I can't remember if I said it, but no, I think we did do that actually on the last Let's Play or something like that, where it's Hey, we need to remember these things, like the the locker code. Do you have a pen and paper? You need to memorize this. We have to be fast. Okay. But what if I forget? Don't. You don't want to be holding a piece of paper and reading it if we're lost. Or trying to avoid something. Something like an animal, you mean? Ain't that right, Yao? Well, so let's resurface just in case. It's almost like he knows there's something down here that isn't an ordinary animal. But it's like he won't talk about it for God knows what reason. Do not worry. If you get confused, I'll be much more useful to you than a piece of paper. And you won't be out of my sight. He leans in close, puts a hand on my shoulder, and gives me an intense look that almost looks like he's a little hungry. Uwu. It's an aggressive side of him that I only usually get to see in private. It makes my cheeks a little warm, and the warm blood flows south. I scratch the back of my neck. Could you, say the sequence again, Yao? Of course. Pass 3, left. Pass 2, left. Right, pass 1. Right, left, right, straight. I say the words out loud. The tiger corrects me several times, but eventually I think I get it. I run the sequence in my head again, over and over again, as we work. So right, pass, pass. Pass 3, left. Pass 2, left. Would that count as pass 2 if they're like right next to each other? Right. Pass 1. Right. Left. Left. Right. Straight. I lose track of time, going it over and over again in my head. But we finally hear the end of the day whistle. All together, together, together. We go to the mess hall to put away our things and stop by the locker. What was my combination again? You need to remember this stuff, or have the foresight to take a picture, you know? Is that one? No. I need to remember to do that. Oh, I have so many pictures. 8 left. And then 16 right? Yeah. Was it 5? No, 3 left. Got it. I put up my pick and hammer, but I noticed something on the ground. It looks like somebody's wallet. I don't have time to look at it now, but I'll take a peek at it later. I can carry your lunch pail in my pack, Sam. Just so you don't forget it. What makes you think I'd forget it? He crouched down and took my pail from the bottom of my locker. You look like you're about to close the door. Oh. I guess it did slip my mind. Thanks, Nick. Thank me by eating. It's not healthy to miss meals. I roll my eyes. Considering what we've been through lately, it's a miracle I want to eat at all. The miracle is how you stayed so big with that attitude. Weights and stretches mostly. I take care of myself plenty. Regardless, you'll lose those muscles in time if you're not careful. You need protein, Sam. Zip. I get plenty of protein, Nick. Don't you worry. Did people know about protein back in these days? And that there was protein in cum? I wonder how much, if you didn't get protein from anywhere else, how much cum you need to drink to get the protein you'd need for weightlifting or just everyday life. Please do not lose focus on our task. Alright. Regular meals will keep you focused too, Sam. I shoo him away with my claw, and he laughs. I really ought to be better at picking up on when he's annoying me on purpose. We sign our names out of Beckett's logbook and take the elevator up together. Seems like a long way up, knowing we'll just go back down another level again shortly, but this time with rope in our hands. I'm grateful that it's time to hit the showers again. Okay, need to censor this. I need to go through my pictures too to be like, did we get whatever thing I was getting here? I feel a little awkward when I get into the showers with Nick and Yao next to me. It was easier to do this around strangers. But being nude around Nick reminds me of all the time we spent together. And I feel a lot close to Yao now too. Funny how your perspective can change after you make a man spill out. Still, I close my eyes, trying to ignore the splatters of soap and water over familiar fur and muscle, letting the sting of cold water and the dingy conditions keep me from getting too excited. We dry off and dress ourselves, breaking away from the line of men ambling toward the mouth of the mine's entrance. And Yao takes us to a familiar direction that's still fresh in my memory. The quartz here still shines and refracts, even closer to night when there aren't too many sunbeams coming through the ceiling. Nix tests the rope. I get a bad feeling and expect it to be damaged, but Nick says it's fine. Yao goes first. I go second. The second time's a lot easier than the first, but I still hate the feeling of swinging midair. Nick follows us down this time. As we go through the gaps in the rock, I feel a little bit surprised that Nick can make himself fit, but he knows how to move his body in a way that lets him flatten as he wiggles through the rock, which surprises and impresses me. Maybe that's something he's just used to doing. We're back now in the last place on the planet I want to be. I remember the size and the stink of it. I hate everything about this place. Sam? He grabs my paw and unfurls it. It's strangely warm and wet. I was really sweating that much? No. It's blood. My own claws are cutting into the palm of my hand. We should keep moving. This is the narrow passage that I remember crawling through. I remember thinking at the time there was no way Nick could get through this. But it turns out I am wrong again. I used to think Nick wasn't very athletic, but the only thing beneath that belly is a strong, flexible muscle. This is our starting point. Remember to keep track of where you are. As we walk, I count the tunnels to my left. 2 are close together. The third is farther away. The next tunnel, we turn and walk for a while. Past 2. That's what I remember. These are incredibly close, one to the left, one to the right. They could be considered parallel if they didn't stagger. Yeah. What? Did you just use a contradiction? I don't recall doing so. I'm rubbing off on him. Move. What's the contradiction? We only have to walk a few hundred feet before we stop again. Now, this is a different part. These rooms are all very similar and connect with one another. It's easy to get lost and wander in the same direction for far too long if you're not careful. We go left. Then we go right. We skip a tunnel. Then we go right. Then we go left. Then we go left again. The tunnel curves very strangely. Our right will be very sudden as we turn the corner. And there it was, our destination at last. All we had left to go down this very narrow, very long tunnel. I can't tell if the wood is warped in such a way to make the tunnel ceiling appear rounder than it should be, or if it was designed that way on purpose. For some reason, it gives me the feeling of looking down a rotting log or storm drain, except it's much bigger than either of those. We walk for several hundred paces, and then come to a dead end. Yeah? There's nothing here. Patience. The tiger takes off his bag and puts his hand inside. Now, you'll understand very soon. He's pulling something out. It's just a candle. He dips the wick in Nick's helmet and brings it to the corner of the room. Except we can see now that there is no corner. There's a long, tall, zigzag crack that looks like it goes up at least 30 or 40 feet. It is in there. Would either of you like to go first, or shall I? You can go first. I can go second. Sam can cover the rear. Sam should feel safer that way. I'm very grateful that Nick is putting himself in the middle of us. He knows Jack's betrayal is still fresh. Stay close. Also, one sec. Okay. The tiger disappears into the fissure. Then, so does Nick. I have to watch my step, walking over a layer of rubble on the ground. Wherever we are now feels very dark and very big. But every so often, I catch something glimmering. More quartz? Amazing, no? The clusters here are dense and tall. I bet somebody would pay handsomely for crystals this large. No doubt. Transport is the issue. But look, there's something much better. He points to the wall. I gasp. The rich color of it is unmistakable. Twists and turns of shining gold vein, as far as our lights can reach. Are you seeing it, Nick? Is it really there? I have never seen so much wealth in one place. I gulp. It's like a pirate's bounty. This is the best thing that's happened to any of us. We're never going to be able to work. We're never going to have to work another day in our lives. We're going to be rich, Nick. Not yet. We still have to extract and transport the gold without getting caught. And then find a way to store and spend it without raising suspicion. If we scope out the area, we can determine the safest location for a blast. You mean we can just do it right here? No, we can't just do it right here? Not without knowing what's above and below the vein in this castle first. I prefer that we are not buried with our treasure. That brings up a few questions I have. Sam? I think I know what they are. How is all of this gold still here? I know this path is confusing to navigate, but it's clear that there are developed shafts here. Somebody had to have seen this, right? My belief is that the foreman must know about it, but cannot extract it yet. There's no other reason to build mine shafts to be this confusing. Shafts are, ideally and efficiently, built over long distances to be parallel and perpendicular. That last thing you said can't be a real word. A gridded shape, Sam. He raises his arms, tall and straight, and then puts them in a cross formation. Good mining tunnels don't sprawl and wander. Strange shapes leaves a lot of gaps in the soil, which means plenty of undiscovered deposits. You think they're being confusing on purpose? Either that, or they're avoiding something. Like what? Even if they knew, I do not believe they would tell us. Depending on what it was, the mine could be shut down for good. Do you want it to be shut down? The tiger looks troubled. A lot of good men would lose their livelihoods if it did. So, not really. Better lose your livelihood than your life. I always say. The badger shrugs. There is always work to be done and people to pay for it. But the entire community would certainly collapse without the mines operational. Again, that's a weird way of doing it, but not wrong. That may not be the worst outcome. I hope you're joking, friend. No. I'm just thinking about it. Perhaps this community has no right to exist if the mines are more dangerous than they seem. I will uproot again if I must. But I grow tired of it. There's a weird sound coming from the direction of the water. Like it's a flailing fish or something. Hey, I hear something. It's coming from deeper in the chasm. Hear what? Now, it sounds very faint and soft. Like dragging. Sounds like cloth almost. If it is a member of management, we should not be seen. It doesn't sound like a person. I follow the sounds, as it leads me to a cliff, which has a sudden stop. As my eyes adjust to the dark, I think I see a lot of movement in the mounds below. I'm not sure how long this can be and stuff like that, but I think this might be a time to call it. You know? Because there's food gonna be happening soon, there's also laundry that's gonna be happening soon, and, don't know how long this can be. So, unfortunately for us, I think it's a time to call it. So, please comment, cause I like comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out other videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay and neuter your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to see what happens next, a week sooner, then, go to itch.io. They have it there for free. But if you want to support the video that ain't the same and get the newest one earlier, then you can go to Patreon, where it's $5, $3 a month. Do I have that one person that I talked to that, gave me a whole bunch of things? It's somebody that... Nope, not them. Nope, not them. Just going through all my Discord things, being like, who dis? Oh, there it is. Yeah, just looking through all the builds. Some of them look weird, like, the main characters, but as, cards, decks. Those guys right there. Oh, I should probably remember to use that in a hot minute. But then there's, ones that I haven't seen, like the sheep lady. There's one of just Nick sitting down on, something. There's, a small house. I'm not sure. I have no idea what street that would be. Though I guess I could go on the thing and be like, hey, what dis? Oh, there's that guy with the miner's cap. But again, I wonder what that is on the window there. It doesn't look like nothing. Oop. I clicked somewhere. Yeah, and there's one of the main character reaching towards quartz, and there's the characters reflected in it. There's also Sam next to a bunch of sunflowers, which I have no idea what that would be about. But yeah, there's this picture of Sam and Nick. Oh wait, William's not out there, it's just what looks like to be police people. Yeah. Anyways, I'll have to figure out which ones go to where, and stuff like that. And until next time, let's play GamerWolfSix, the Smoker. So thanks and see ya.